I am a secondary school teacher in the West Midlands. I moved to the area about 12 years ago after finishing university. Recently, I made the decision to leave my role as a teacher because the way things are now, it's just not worth it anymore.
Ooh.
Children today aren't the same as they used to be. Parents constantly make excuses for their behavior, and the job has become unbearable. Financially, I was barely making ends meet with my partner, and having to deal with this level of stress and nonsense every day just wasn't worth it. I've tried my hardest to guide these children in the right direction, but the challenges we face now are overwhelming. Instead of progressing, these children seem to be moving backwards, and I honestly have no idea how the government plans to address this mess. As someone who follows and supports the Express Truth, I really appreciate the work you do, but I need you to understand how dire things are in our community. The Black British Caribbean community, in particular, is at rock bottom. Our youth are in a terrible state. They've completely adopted the worst aspects of UK culture and it's destroying them. What are your thoughts on the current state of things? Mark, as a father, how do you view the direction the younger generation is heading? And Noble, what do you think about the future of our youth? I'm not too well schooled on it, but I understand everything that's being said there. As a teacher, I definitely understand that things may have changed now in regards to how children do things and in regard to how parents do things. There's a lack of accountability. I definitely agree with that to what I've personally witnessed. With the question that you've asked, with what she's asked me, is what do I think? Now, in regards to my personal experiences, I definitely agree with what this teacher's saying. Schools are very quick to make excuses for children now. They're also quick to put children in lower sets and stuff. So if a child has a behavioral problem, instead of addressing that, they'll just put him in a lower set. We've spoke about this many a times. I also think the label of autism and things of that nature is very rapidly applied to youth today. There's a lot of youth who ain't actually suffering from autism or who actually are not dealing with autism, but they are still put into groups of that nature. I definitely see that, but I believe that, yeah, a teacher is a thankless job. Outside of a personal parent coming through and saying thank you, if you're in an urban area or a deprived area, parenting is really terrible in today's world. Not all, but a large percentage of parenting now, they're not parents, they are friends, they are siblings. They're not parents. They're not an authority figure. I remember a few years ago, I said it on a show that a parent's an authority figure. And I remember Made You Think the vlog, he clipped it out and put it on his blog, sorry. And people was like, you can't say that. You can't say that. You're supposed to do this and do that. And I'm like, no, this is why you man are sending your children straight to the system. Because in your home, you're not an authority figure. So they go out there thinking that police are their friend, teachers are their friend, judges are their friend. They're not. These people are in place for a reason. A teacher, you can laugh and joke with a teacher, but ultimately, that's an authority figure. And a lot of men don't understand that. They're being sent out of the house, not understanding that. Because mom's my friend. If I get in trouble doing something, I can talk my way out of it with mom. You see what I'm saying? If I can always misdirect mom. I can always cry to mom, and mom will listen to everything I say. See what I'm saying? Some man ain't got that there to say he's talking rubbish. Then when he goes to school now, he thinks it's the same thing. I think the teacher's your friend. But no, when you're rampant in class and all that, that teacher don't care. Well, not all of them, but some don't care what you've got going on in tomorrow's world. So you know what they're going to do? Instead of you disrupting these men that know what going on, we'll just get you up out of here. They know that's damaging. They know that. But as a teacher, I understand that back in the day, there were teachers who would say, let me talk to the parents. I know that this is a good youth, yeah, but I'm going to talk to his parents. You see what I'm saying? And let them know. But then when you try and talk to the parents, my son didn't do that. My daughter didn't do that. You're bullying him. You're bullying him. There's that attitude too. And all you're doing is you're just preparing them for the system. So I always use the Farrakhan lyric. I'm disciplining mine today, so you don't tomorrow. Because guess what? When I discipline them, they're going to learn. When you discipline them, you don't forgive them. You don't forgive them. You discipline them, and there's no way back. And the school system is that right now. It's at a place where they want youths to tap into their feelings. You know what I mean? How do you feel? You know, do you feel anxiety? You know, what's your emotion? Like, write down your emotion. We didn't have none of them things. What emotion are you feeling? You don't pay bills. You don't work nowhere. Now, I get it. There are some youths who are traumatized by whatever's going on. But the majority, they're worry-free. Let's keep it real. We're in the UK, folks. We're in the UK. I'm old school. I've been to yard and seen man living in a yard that I could fly kick and it fall down. I've been in yard where, I'm telling you, I remember this time I was in Jamaica and my nan, rest her soul, cooked like some dumpling and ackee and all them things. And a man was at the yard painting it in Clarendon, you know, and over. And my nan gave it to me. And I've ate the food and there's probably like a third of what was left. No, but you see the painter, he almost jumped off of the ladder to come eat the food, what was left. I remember saying, "What?" Like, it's like my man, he literally picked up the same fork that I was eating with. Right. Now, what that done to me is it let me know, yo, it's not no joke out here. You see what I'm saying? It let me know that. Let me read some of this. D42, not strictly true. It's actually very difficult to get a diagnosis of autism, even when they are very obvious. Even when they are very obvious presenting. I hear that D42. What I mean, maybe I should word it different and say they're quick to put them in different sets, lower sets. But I've seen once they pass the age of 5, they're quick. A teacher. So let's say you ignore all the signs. Yeah, remember you might have someone who's very low on the spectrum, and you ignore all the signs, and then that child goes into reception. That teacher can then have the power to say, something ain't right with that child, and they can flag it up. Now, it might not necessarily be that it's that. You see what I'm saying? But they can flag it up and be like, yo, put that child in a different group, or put that child with a prefect, or whatever the correct term is. What I'm trying to get at is that they're papering over cracks. That's what I'm trying to say. So even if I'm not getting it completely accurate, I'm saying that the school system are now papering over cracks. That's what they're doing now. So there's a lot of youth who they definitely could be, with a bit more nurture and care, they definitely could change the direction that youth's going in. But we're in a place now where teaching, it's a paycheck. It's a paycheck, Noble.
Unfortunately, it's been a paycheck for a lot of so-called teachers when I was in school, and I guess when you was in school as well. But for the good teachers, and there are good teachers, it is a very thankless job. If we can cast our minds back, it wasn't too long ago. We went through something called the zombie apocalypse, where all children, and I said this when they first did it. We go back, not no Nostradamus business, but you know, it's obvious. You had newborn babies born during a zombie apocalypse who can't talk properly now. Yeah. Their social skills across the board of all ages, from newborns to preschool, nursery, juniors, all of that there, they were removed from a natural social environment and was put into in a very extreme situation for, was it 2 years? The children then wasn't
2 years.
Yeah. So that was a major thing in itself. Huge thing. When the children then came back to school, as far as I'm aware of, it wasn't a case of we're going to ease these children back in, and the first few months we're going to analyze We're going to allow these children just to mingle, to co-mingle, and to be children again before we start to try and do the testing, before we start to really progress any further learning, because they've had 2 years of stunted distance learning. They did none of that. Also, the other factors which relate to the family dynamic whilst these children weren't in school was even worse. We had abuse on crazy high levels. We had dysfunction, which was dysfunctional families, which were even became even more dysfunctional during the zombie apocalypse. So we now have teachers who were, semi-functioning alcoholics who are now fully fledged alcoholics, but they're still functioning. You know, taking their prescription drugs because it was a stressful period. You had nothing else but to do. Sometimes to drink 2 bottles of wine, as the teachers do sometimes, in the night, doing your thizzle wiggle. So we've got pressures from all sides, just based on, I'm just talking about the zombie apocalypse now. Just the zombie apocalypse. Never mind the dysfunction that was happening before that. Never mind the lack of financial investment into the education system, buildings. We've got crumbling schools, temporary school classes because the roof's fallen down, the bricks, concrete scandal, something, yeah, all kind of something. So we've got a myriad of things. We've then got, as you say, or as I've said, paycheck boss teacher. What, 32 grand? Yeah, man, I'll do that. Shit, these little children and stuff. Okay, we'll go through that. We'll do that there. I don't care about them there like that. This is just a job for me. This is just a way for me to get my mortgage and for me to not to work during the 6 weeks holiday. Even better, they then join and realize there's a lot of stuff going on here. This isn't just teaching. I'm having to counsel sometimes. Children are coming in hungry, disheveled, no brief and drawers on, no socks, all kind of stuff, having to then call social services. Huh? This is just your regular teaching job with that some teachers are, who they sign up to do. So that there is a myriad of pressures from every single angle, and I appreciate the teachers who are trying to influence a change for all children. Never mind us as original people, because we've got to live with people. But as the young noble is saying, specifically Black, Caribbean, British have fallen to the wayside, as we've alluded to many times. It's because of the shunning of our culture and the adopting of this Black British business.
Yeah,
That's what's happening. We've destroyed. We've taken away. I mean, look how many single bloody parents that we've got, man. You see, there's the roots. We can go back and back and back and back. When you go in to drop your daughter off, how many parents are coming? Like, no, not even drop your daughter off. When you go into parents, is it the single mothers going there, or is there a nice little breadth in and out?
There's a decent mix with my daughter's
Good.
school, but a lot of the youths, the other Black youths, are like African. So
Okay.
the parents, there's still some that are early, like that are first gen. So they're still together, like they've came together, and that kind of thing. So I've noticed that. But for every negative thing that I say about my school back in the day, St. Mary's and John's, I'll tell you one thing. I remember going into like year 5, and at the end of year 4, it's the last day of school.
Yes.
Teacher was crying. It was a lady.
Yeah,
she was crying, and you know why she was crying? Because she had spent that year with us.
Yeah, man.
And she was sad to see us move. That's a real teacher.
Yes.
Because there was care there. You know them ones. Has your teacher ever hugged you?
Not sit, yo.
This is what I'm saying. Like, it's not the same anymore.
You can't do that.
You can't. In today's world, them things can't run.
No.
I remember back in the day, when I was in school, it was different. It was either one of two extremes. It was either a horrible teacher, or an absolutely lovely teacher, whose job was there were people. Britain's known for teachers, or was known for teachers that would stay on after they retired.
Come on.
For how much, they valued the position and for what it meant. Today's world, man, they're striking, they're not making no P. They're Look at the message. Look what she said. Look what she said. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And to be honest with you, I definitely see it. Obviously some schools are going to be better than others, but I personally see how youth can fall behind now. I can see that because if you're not uber focused, which a lot of youth ain't, to start, if you're not uber focused, like a teacher's just fulfilling quotas now.
To a point, Mark, but before you continue, a child doesn't even need to be or shouldn't need to even be uber focused to go through the fooling system or the schooling system, as I call it. Now, one of the biggest, we all know this, what's the biggest distraction to humanity at the moment? These pocket computers that we carry around everywhere with us.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, call me Granddad Noble, right? But I'm like, what are children doing with smartphone, sibling? Huh? What are children doing and walking around with the iPhone 99, going to primary school, never mind secondary school? Right? This is a means to an end. Okay, of course, the world is a very different place. When I was growing up, 2 buses we used to have to catch to go to school. 2 buses. My mother didn't have a vehicle to drop me off at the damn school, but it was still a little bit safer. You know what I mean? We caught the bus, West Midlands Travel. You know what I mean? Got on there, did the scissor wiggle. We didn't have a mobile phone. We didn't have that internet. We had 1 television in the damn house. Yeah. Very simplistic lifestyle. Today, there's your fridge freezer has a television on it.
Yeah, man.
You have a television in your damn kitchen, a television in every single room, multiple surfboards, as I call them, aka tablets. Okay, and you've got a plethora of mobile flipping computers as in the forms of smartphones. Now, I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe, because look, I go out, you go out, everyone goes out, and the children, if they're walking and their face is if they haven't got it to their ear like this, playing music for I don't know what I saw that about. Got the thing right next to their ear playing music or whatever the hell they're doing. They're gazing into the crack phone on the way to school. Every opportunity they're on this crack phone. Okay, so where's their focus? Because they're going to school to learn, to trustfully to learn, to become young adults, to then enter the workforce. How are they going to focus with the crack phone in their hand all the time? And the parents are upgrading it. Oh, you want the iPhone 2000? No problem. As soon as it comes out, I've got my space already. I've got it already reserved. I got the tent. I'm going to camp out. How many do you want? Yeah, man, I got it. I got you, man. Because my responsibilities as a parent is acquiesce now. I'm acquiescing that to technology.
Can they put it down? That's another thing. Can they put it down? Can most people as they wake, first thing, Instagram or TikTok or whatever, that's the first thing. Gotta check what's going on that. Gotta sleep with it. Has to be right by my head. That's the way it is now. That was gradual, but that's because people's whole life is in that. Their whole life. Think about your phone. Think about what's in your phone. Just your whole life, everything's in there. Photos, email, videos, your bank, your YouTube, your gym membership, your card, even your plane ticket is in it now. Your cinema ticket, everything runs through that WhatsApp. See what I'm saying?
Valuable.
iMessage, everything's in this thing. Everything's in there. Gaming. Everything's in it, so you're attached to it. But what's happening is these youth are attached to it too. Think about a concert or something back in the day. Man would be at that concert, watch, and then go about his way. I remember my uncle seen Michael Jackson, Jay-Z. No, he's seen Michael Jackson and Jay-Z, and he's seen Biggie as well. No footage or nothing. He just remembers. He say, I seen Biggie in concert. You know, he tell me. I seen Biggie. He seen Michael Jackson and Jay-Z on the same show. And he said it was mad, but all he's got is the memories. All he's got is I remember seeing that. I remember, that's all he's got. But now what would happen is a man will go there and he's filming it
Yeah.
to put on social to say, yo, I'm here, selfies and that. You know, like, man are doing that, turning to the stage and doing that to show that I'm at the concert, because it's all about, look at me, look where I'm at. You know, it took me ages, you know, to be able to really do social media, you know, as posting and stuff. Ages. Man that are on this would know we were terrible back in the day, you know, but you was a bit better because you were coming from another show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when I first started, like, I remember started taking no picture. There's bare places I've been where, yo, I was on stage, popcorn and everything, you know. I was on stage with all them mans in yard. Popcorn killer, everyone. I got some video, but I didn't even take bag of pictures or nothing because I was still very not like that. Yeah.
No, but before you carry on, Mark, you're in the moment.
Yeah.
You're still of the generation of being in the moment. It wasn't, again, you've got it in here. If there's an opportunity, once you're out of that on stage, yo, let's grab a quick picture, yo, I'm with my man still, then that would, like, the amount of Polaroids I've got with people them like that, because it was, I didn't have a mobile phone with a camera on it. If I was going somewhere, you'd buy your disposable camera and you'd be like, yo, if I get opportunity to, you know, when my man comes off stage, yeah, man, I'm grabbing this shot, man. Oh, yo, I can get back. Yo, I know my man, I can get back. Yo, yeah. And he can maybe snap a few. Yo, can I take a picture? Yeah, blessed. Outside of that, it's about the experience. Yo, went to Ghetto Boys concert still. Yo, that was live still. Yo, Naughty by Nature. We went to do Churches on stage doing his thing. Yo, there was that thing over there, you remember? And there will be a whole story to the thing. We didn't need to. It wasn't a phone. And even if there was a phone, it was about being in the moment. It's about seeing it, not recording it, experiencing it, and being right there, being present.
But what are these teachers? Let's keep it real. And this goes out to the listener. What are these teachers preparing these youth for? Because Noble, tomorrow's world ain't looking like today's world, you know. So what are you preparing them for anyway? Because there's a lot of careers that ain't going to be here in 15, 20, probably before that. What are we preparing them for? This is what I'm looking at now. I'm looking at, how does tomorrow's world look? Because if we had a time machine right now, yeah, and you could go back to 95, I'm talking you, because in 95 I was 8.
Yeah.
But if you could go back to 95, housing market, the way that the world's going, you'd be very different. If you could go back to if this dream finished and you woke up and it was 1995, you had a memory of all this, but you're back there and you know how the world goes ahead. No, but you would be doing something completely different to what you're doing now.
Oh, you know
exactly. So we know where the world's going tomorrow, don't we?
When that Bitcoin first came out, I'm sure I've already told you.
There you go. You told me that you missed out on a big payday, innit? Yeah.
I thought it was just foolishness. I was like, Bitcoin.
There you go.
If I had the foresight now, man would have been a Bitcoin king in this thing, you know what I mean?
There's things I missed. There's things I literally missed because we just didn't think it was ever going to be something that would change. You see what I'm saying? But we now know that tomorrow's world is not looking like today's world. The tech is definitely sweet. Whether we like it or not, movie industry is changing. Yeah, that's an entertainment level. It's all changing to where a man can just talk a few words. There's actual AI you can buy now where it can create video. This is still in its infancy. This is still in its infancy. So I'm saying, what are we getting these children ready for? They need to be getting prepared for the new. They got to be prepared. They've got to be prepared for what the new world looks like. They have to. They've got to be prepared for that. And the new world is looking a lot different to this world we know now.